So Donald Trump openly called for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians on TV. Let's take a look.
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places on earth. And right now, I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there. So if we can build them through massive amounts of money supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, it could be Egypt, it could be other countries, and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing, like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die. Because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again. It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back? They've experienced nothing but death and destruction.
Why is it dangerous? It's because of Israel. They're flattening Gaza, they're destroying the buildings. This is ethnic cleansing and genocide. The people of Gaza have to leave, and then Israelis can come into an area that the US has taken over and built up nicely on American dime. And the way he mentions that over 100 years, the same thing happens. He's insinuating that Palestinians are violent, and if they stay, it will always be a dangerous place. No, the constant is Israel. For over 75 years, they've illegally occupied Palestine, slaughtering the people there. Israel is the danger. Now, when watching that video, you can see the smugness of Netanyahu as Trump does his bidding. These are two foul monsters. They shouldn't see the light of day. Two of the most evil people in the world, and the media, well, have they been strong in criticizing Trump? Of course not. Breaking. Donald Trump says he wants the US to take ownership of Gaza so he can level it for jobs and housing. That was from Sky News, the BBC. Palestinians, Egypt, UK, and other condemn Trump's plans for US takeover of Gaza. And The Guardian, Trump's declaration US will take over Gaza Strip sparks global condemnation. There seems to be something missing in the headlines. No mention of ethnic cleansing. The media, of course, are whitewashing it and won't call it for what it is. Now, I've seen a couple of tweets in response to what Trump said, and people are getting this very wrong in relation to the US elections. The people that were protesting Kamala Harris about the Palestinians look like complete idiots. And here's another one, and as you can see, the poster included an image of Kamala with cry face emojis as if to say, "We told you so." Now that's just 2 examples, but I've seen quite a few of these, and I really hate it. Look, I openly said that people in the US should vote for Kamala Harris. If I was there, I would have voted for her, because despite the Democrats' complicity in the genocide, Trump was always going to be worse, and we have proof of that. But to look at that situation and to know that things are about to get far worse for Palestinians is to act smug and say, "Oh, we told you so," or to call people idiots for protesting Kamala Harris, I think is disgraceful. Those who protested were absolutely right to. She had the same policies as Biden, and given that she was VP, she was actually in power. And I've seen criticisms from those who say, well, why didn't anyone protest Trump in the election on Gaza? Well, as I said, he wasn't in power, but also people know that he would never change his mind on it. There was at least a little bit of hope that the Democrats would change or move just a little bit, because there are some decent people still in the Democratic Party. There are some Democrat supporters who really don't act any different to Trump's. They're known as Blue MAGA, and I think that's a really accurate description. Now, what's our government said about this? Any strong condemnation? I think you can guess.
Okay, you mentioned the United States. I'm sure you've heard overnight President Trump saying that he'd like to take over Gaza by force if necessary and make it the Riviera of the Middle East. Is that something the British government would support?
I can tell you what the UK's position on this is, and our view is that Palestinian civilians have been through a living nightmare for the last 14 months. They need to be able to return to their homes and then start to rebuild them. They will need an awful lot of support from the international community to do that. But what we really want to get to is a long-lasting peace for this region, where we've seen conflagrations breaking out so frequently and most horrifically over the last 14 months. We need to get to a lasting peace. That can only be based on a two-state solution with a secure Israel living at peace with its neighbours and a free and viable Palestinian state alongside.
And in answer to my question, Minister?
Well, I can give you the UK government's view. What I won't do, Kay, you'll forgive me, is provide a running commentary on the pronouncements of the President of the United States or any other world leader.
I sounded a little bit disparaging of him.
Not at all. I think we should give Donald Trump credit for the role that he played in securing this ceasefire in the first place. But it is the view of the United Kingdom government that Palestinians should be able to return to their homes and rebuild their shattered lives.
So Steve Reed literally starts off his answer, which is the UK position that Palestinians should be able to return home. But Trump has literally contradicted that. He doesn't want them to. Yet Reed had nothing to say on that. And Kay Burley, she didn't even push back. The UK and US position is different. Why didn't Kay Burley point out that contradiction? I also hate it when politicians say, I'm not going to provide a running commentary. I mean, that literally translates to, I'm not going to say anything because I can't really. And then to finish it off, Burley says, well, that's a bit disparaging, to which Reed grovels. Oh, we must thank Trump for getting this ceasefire deal. What a pathetic bunch of cowards in the Labour government. Now, I just checked Starmer's Twitter, not a peep. Ed Davey asked about Trump in the Commons, and then Starmer pretty much evaded it, gave a wishy-washy answer. However, the Green Party, they didn't waste any time, and they've already made a statement. This is from Green MP Ellie Chowns. The forced movement of a people from their homeland is ethnic cleansing. The people of Gaza are not obstacles to be removed. They are human beings with the right to live with dignity, security, and self-determination. Britain and our international allies must today respond in the strongest terms, condemning Trump's recklessness remarks. You see that? Calling it for what it is, ethnic cleansing. We also have one from Jeremy Corbyn, no surprise. The President of the United States welcomed the leader wanted by the ICC and officially endorsed ethnic cleansing. Now will be a good time for our government to defend international law. If they won't say it, we will. Palestinians aren't going anywhere. I love that at the end. Palestinians aren't going anywhere. That's what leadership is. But instead, we have appeasers in government fawning over a genocidal maniac, and it's disgusting.
Support independent media. Support social justice that's there on social media. Thank you. Turn left.